In this world, the heaviest thing is not what we carry in our hands, but what we carry in our hearts. The moment we let it go, everything feels lighter. Once in a monastery, there was a young monk who had recently joined. His past was filled with painful memories, family conflicts, childhood struggles, and disappointments that never left his mind. Even in the peaceful monastery, he felt something was always wrong. He saw problems everywhere, even where there were none. His mind was trapped in overthinking, making even the simplest things complicated. One day, he could no longer bear it. He went to his master and said, "Master, I am tired. My past never leaves me. I keep thinking about everything, things that happened long ago, things happening now. I cannot find peace. What should I do?" The master smiled gently and said, "Come with me." He led the young monk outside the monastery. Pointing to a distant hill, he said, "Do you see that small hut on top? An old monk, the most senior among us, lives there. He left our monastery years ago to meditate in peace. He will give you the answer you seek." Eager for a solution, the young monk said, "May I go now? I cannot wait any longer." The master nodded, and the young monk set off immediately. He climbed down the monastery hill and started his journey toward the distant mountain. After a long and tiring climb, he reached the old monk's hut. The old monk was deep in meditation. The young monk waited patiently. When the old master finally opened his eyes, the young monk bowed and said, "Master, please help me. My mind is filled with painful memories. I cannot forget the past, and it troubles me every moment. I want to be free from this suffering." The old monk smiled kindly and said, "I will give you your answer, but first let us go to the village below for our midday meal. A disciple there has invited us." The young monk agreed, feeling hopeful. As they prepared to leave, the old monk picked up a large, heavy rock and placed it before the young monk. "Carry this with you," he said. The young monk hesitated but obeyed. He lifted the heavy rock onto his shoulder and followed the old monk down the mountain. The path was steep and uneven. At first, he thought the rock might have a hidden meaning, so he carried it with determination. But soon his arms began to ache, his legs trembled, and sweat poured down his face. The weight slowed him down, and he struggled to keep his balance. Meanwhile, the old monk walked ahead with ease, without any burden. The young monk wanted to drop the rock, but thought, "What if this is part of my lesson? I must endure it." He kept going, suffering more with every step. By the time they reached the foot of the mountain, he was exhausted. His whole body ached, and he could barely stand. To his surprise, he saw the old monk sitting under a tree, smiling. The young monk, gasping for breath, asked, "Master, why are you smiling? I am in pain. This rock made my journey miserable. Please tell me the lesson." The old monk said gently, "How was your journey?" "Terrible," the young monk said. "The rock was too heavy. It made everything difficult." The old monk nodded. "Then why didn't you drop it?" The young monk froze. "But you told me to carry it." The old monk smiled again. "I told you to pick it up, but I never said you must carry it the whole way. You could have dropped it any time, but you chose to suffer believing it was necessary." The young monk suddenly understood. The old monk continued, "This journey is like your life. The rock is your past, your painful memories, regrets, and worries. You have been carrying them for so long, making your life difficult. But just like this rock, you can put them down any time. The moment you let go, you will feel light and free. Why suffer when you don't have to?" Tears filled the young monk's eyes. He dropped the rock immediately. As it hit the ground, he felt a strange relief, as if a great weight had lifted, not just from his shoulders, but from his soul. The old monk placed a hand on his shoulder and said, "The past is gone. The only thing keeping it alive is you. Let go, and peace will find you." That day, the young monk learned the greatest lesson of his life. Freedom comes not from holding on, but from letting go. We often carry the weight of our past, our regrets, pain, and disappointments, without realizing that we have the power to let them go. Just like the young monk struggled with the rock, we struggle with our burdens, believing we must carry them forever. But the truth is, the past only has power over us if we keep holding on to it. The moment we decide to drop our burdens, we free ourselves from suffering. Life becomes lighter, easier, and more beautiful when we stop clinging to what no longer serves us. Let go, and peace will follow.